seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. He was successful with all women, for that matter, but there's a special challenge in beautiful women married to rich, prominent, successful men. I could never do him justice. Let him tell you in his own words.
If I may say so myself, I, Peter Semyonich, am the greatest seducer of other men's wives that I've ever met. I say this not boastfully, but simply as a matter of record. The staggering figures speak for themselves. For those men interested in playing this highly satisfying, yet often dangerous game, I urge you take out a pen and paper and take notes. I will be explaining my methods. In defense, married women may do likewise, but it'll do them little good if they happen to be the chosen victim. My method has never failed. Now then, there are 3 vital characteristics needed. They are patience, more patience, and even more patience. Those who do not have the strength to wait and persist, I urge you take up bicycling, rowing perhaps. Seducing isn't for you. Now then, in order to seduce a man's wife, you must, I repeat, must, keep as far away from her as possible. Ignore her if you must. We'll get to her through the husband. You will be witnessing a practical demonstration, for as it happens, I am madly and deeply in love this week. My heart pounds with excitement, knowing that she will pass through this garden in mere moments. Every fiber of my being tells me to throw my arms around her and embrace her with all the passion in my heart. But observe how a master works. I shall be cool, almost to the point of freezing. My heart and heart of hearts, spouse, approach.
Ah, Peter Semyonich. Fancy meeting you here.
My dear Nikolai, you're looking well. How good to see you. Notice how I'm not looking at her.
Thank you. And you gay devil, you're always looking well. Excuse me, have you met my wife Irina? Oh, of course you have. You sat next to her at dinner at the Vesnovs. Irina, I don't know what this charmer said to you, but I must warn you, he is a scoundrel, a notorious bachelor, and an exceptional swordsman. That's the best I can say for you, Peter.
You exaggerate, Nicky. But, good to see you again.
We were just taking a stroll. If you're not busy, why don't you walk with us?
That's very kind of you, Nikolai. But as a matter of fact, I'm riveted to the spot. A new romance has entered my life, and my legs are like pillars of granite. Until she is out of my sight, I shall be incapable of movement. Too much, do you think? As I said, be patient.
Fantastic. You never cease to amaze me. Pretty, I suppose?
Suppose magnificent. Suppose glorious, and you will suppose correctly.
Any complications?
As usual, husband. I'm afraid my cause looks hopeless.
Nonsense. I'm placing my money on you, and you know I never bet unless I'm sure of winning. Well, we're off. Good hunting, my boy, good hunting.
Madame. Beautifully done, don't you think? I'm sometimes awed by the work of a true professional. Did you notice our eyes barely met? We exchanged hardly a word, and how much she knows of me already. A, I'm a popular bachelor. B, a man in love, always titillating to romantic women. C, a gifted sportsman, a nice contrast to her sedentary husband. And D, this is most important, a dangerous man with the ladies. Quite frankly, at this point, she is disgusted with me. A, because I'm a braggart and a scoundrel. B, because I'm shamelessly frank as to my intentions. And C, she thinks she's not the one I'm interested in. Forgive me if I'm slightly overcome by my own deviousness. By the way, are you getting this all down? It gets tricky from here on in. Now then, next step, hypnosis. Not hypnosis with your eyes, hypnosis with the poison of your tongue, much like that of a venomous snake moving in for the kill. What's more, the best channel is the husband himself. Witness as I accidentally run into him one day at the club.
Oh, Peter, you're looking glum. I take it things aren't going very well.
Isn't that obvious? I'm doomed, Nicky. I haven't seen her since I last saw you and your dear wife. I sleep little and I eat less. I've had all my shirt collars taken in half an inch. Nicky, why do I waste my valuable youth chasing women I can never truly call my own? How I envy you.
Me? What is there about me that you envy?
Why, our marriage, of course. A charming woman, your wife, let me tell you.
Really? What about her is fascinating?
Her grace, her quiet charm, everything. But mostly, it's the way she looks at you. If only someone would look at me like that, with such loving, adoring eyes. It must send quivers through your body.
Quivers? No, not really.
A tingle, perhaps. Don't tell me you don't tingle when she looks at you.
Of course, I tingle all the time.
She's an ideal woman, Nicky. Take that from a lonely bachelor, and be glad fate gave you a wife like that.
Perhaps fate will be as kind to you.
That's what I'm counting on. Good heavens! I'm late for my doctor's appointment.
What's he treating you for?
Melancholia. Please say hello to your dear wife, but I urge you not to repeat our conversation, as it might embarrass her fragile sensitivities. Ah, where in the world is the woman for me? I know where. The question is, how soon will she be mine? There is still work to be done, but not by me. That task goes to my aide and accomplice. Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Oh, by the way, I saw Peter Semyonich today.
Who?
Peter, the bachelor, we met him in the gardens last week. That attractive fellow, you remember.
I remember. What a loathsome man he is.
Well, you may not think so when you hear what he had to say about you.
Nothing that braggart has to say would interest me.
He spoke most enthusiastically about you. He was enraptured by your grace, your quiet charm, and the way your eyes looked so adoringly. He seemed to think you were capable of loving men in some extraordinary way. He had a lot to say about you. He went on and on. Well, good night.
Good night. What else?
What?
What else do you have to say about me?
Peter.
Whatever that loathsome man's name is, what else did Peter Semyonich have to say about me?
Well, that's more or less it, what I told you.
But you said he went on and on.
He did.
But you stopped. Either go on and don't stop, or go on and let's go to bed.
Well, he said how much he envied me. How much he wished someone would look at him the way you look at me.
How does he know how I look at you?
That day in the gardens, he must have been looking at you while you were looking at me. It sent a tingle through my whole body.
The way I looked at you.
Exactly, my precious.
But you were looking at him, so you couldn't have seen how I was looking at you. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the flowers because he was making me rather nervous the way he kept avoiding looking at me. You must have tingled for some other reason.
It's getting rather confusing. The point is, he found you fascinating, and I thought it would please you.
It doesn't. I wish you wouldn't tell me such stories. Are you planning to see him again soon?
Tomorrow for lunch.
Well, tomorrow at lunch, I'd rather not be discussed. Tell him that. And at dinner, you can tell me what he said. Good night, Nicky.
Good night, my dear.
Good night, my love. I'm sometimes spellbound by my own powers. I succeeded in not only piquing her interest, but causing her heart to flutter at the mention of my name. The same man she called loathsome not 2 minutes ago. All this, mind you, was accomplished while I was at home taking a pine-scented bath. Luncheon the next day was not only nourishing but productive. By the way, old man, I ran into Narrator the other day. The artist. Seems he's been commissioned by some wealthy prince to paint the head of a typical Russian beauty. He asked me to look out for a model for him, and I said I knew just the woman, but I wouldn't dare ask her myself. What do you think of asking your wife?
Asking my wife what?
To be the model, of course. It would be a damn shame if that exquisite face missed the chance to become immortalized for all the world to see.
For all the world? Really? I see what you mean.
Why don't you discuss it with her?
Good idea, I'll discuss it with her. Well, I said I would discuss it with you. What do you think?
I think it's nonsense. How did it you? I mean, did he actually say a typical Russian beauty?
And precisely. And that it would be a damn shame if that exquisite face missed the chance to become immortalized for all the world to see.
He gets carried away by his own voice. Those exact words, he didn't leave anything out.
Ah, yes. That lovely face. I left out that lovely face. He said that a number of times, I think.
He does go on, doesn't he? How many times did he say it? Once, twice, twice.
Oh, it's hard to remember.
It's not important, but I wish in the future you would write these things down.
Have you seen me near her? Have you heard me speak to her? Has any correspondence passed between us? No, my dear pupils, and yet she hangs on my every word uttered by her husband. Awesome, isn't it? We have applied this treatment from 2 to 3 weeks. Her resistance is weakening, weakening, weakening.
If you ask me, it looks like his mind is elsewhere by the looks of it. On some woman, I think.
What woman? Has he mentioned anyone in particular?
Oh no, he's too discreet for that. He'll protect their good name at any cost. Instead, he talks to you all day. The poor fool. I'm beginning to feel sorry for him.
It's really not about concern, Nicky. Did you ask him to dinner tomorrow?
He's busy.
The next day, then?
Busy.
Next week? Next month? When? Doesn't the man eat?
He says he's involved on some important project. It'll be months before he can see us again. He did say with patience and persistence, good things will come to him. Oh, by the way, he thinks you should go on the stage.
The stage? Me? On the stage? What? Heaven's name?
Just a moment. I don't want to misquote him.
No, try to get it as accurate as possible.
Yes, he said, with such an attractive appearance, such intelligence, it's a sin for her to be just a housewife.
Oh dear, he said that?
And that ordinary men don't exist for such women.
I don't think I want to hear anymore.
Natures like that should not be bound by time and space.
Nicky, I implore you, please stop.
And then he says, if I weren't so busy, I'd take her away from you.
He said that?
Right there.
What did you say, Nicky? It's important that I know what you said to him then.
Well, I said, take her then. I'm not going to fight a duel over her.
Nicky, you mustn't discuss me with him anymore. I beg of you not to mention my name to him ever again.
But I don't. He's the one who's always bringing up the subject. He actually accused me of not understanding you. He shouted at me. She's an exceptional creature. Strong, seeking a way out. If I were Turk enough, I would put her in a novel. The passionate angel, I would call it. That man is weird. Definitely weird.
He's delivering my love letters, sealing them with kisses, and he calls me weird, I ask you? So let's see what we've got so far. The poor woman is definitely consumed with the passion to meet me. She is sure I am the only man who truly understands her. Her yawning, disinterested husband transmits my remarks, but it is my voice she hears, my words that sing in her heart. The sweet poison is doing its work. I am relentless. There is no room for mercy in the seducing business. Observe how the deathly final stroke is administered. For the faint-hearted, I urge you, look away.
No, nothing. I don't want to hear anything from him ever again. Nothing.
But exactly. He begged me to tell you nothing. He knew because of your sweet and sympathetic nature, you would worry to hear someone else's distress.
He's in distress?
Worse, gloomy, morose, morbid in the depths of despair.
Oh no, but why? What is the matter with him?
Loneliness. He says he has no relatives, no true friends, not a soul who understands him.
But does he know how much we understand him perfectly? Doesn't he know how much we commune with him daily? Doesn't he know how much we just, like, yearn to be with him, you and I?
I tried to make that clear. I again urged him to come home to dinner with me, but he says he can't face people. He's too depressed. Instead, he paces in the public garden where we met him every night.
What time?
Between 8 and 9. Oh, by the way, we're invited to dinner at the Boscomex tomorrow. Is 8 o'clock all right?
No, I'm visiting Aunt Sophia's. She's ill. I'll be there at 9. Or
Please, no applause. I couldn't have done it alone. That goes to my good friend and collaborator, her husband, who wooed her so successfully that there is no carriage fast enough to take her into my arms. She ran all the way. Now, you will understand if I ask you to busy yourselves with your programs and such, because the next few moments are private, and I am, after all, a gentleman. My dear, sweet dear, at last I can speak the words I've longed.
No, not a word, not a sound. Please, I couldn't bear it. Not until you've heard what's in my heart. For weeks now, I have been in torment. You've used my husband as a clever and devious device to arouse my passions, well, which I freely admit have been my adornment for these past 7 years. Whether you are sincere or not, you have awakened in me desires and longings I never dreamt were possible. You appeal to my vanity, and I succumb. You bestir my thoughts of untold pleasures, and I weaken. You attack my every vulnerability, and I surrender. I am here, Peter Semyonich, if you want me. But let me add this. I love my husband dearly. He is not a passionate man, nor even remotely romantic. Our life together neither reaches the heights of ecstasy nor the depths of anguish. We have an even marriage, moderate and comfortable. And in accepting this condition of his devoted love, I have been happy. I come to you now, knowing that once you take me in your arms, my life and marriage with Nicky will be gone and destroyed for all time. I am too weak and too selfish to make the choice, and I rely on your strength of character. If you want me, open your arms now, and I will come to you. But if you love me, turn your back, and I will leave and never see or speak to you again. The choice, my dearest, sweetest love of my life. It is yours. I will listen. God bless you, Peter Semyonich. I wish life brings you the same happiness you just brought to me. Peter Semyonich, former seducer of other men's wives, from that moment on turned to single, unmarried women only. Until one day, the perfect girl came along, and the confirmed bachelor married at last. He is today a completely happy man, except perhaps on the occasion when some dashing young officer comments on how attractive he finds his lovely young wife.